What is up? What is
What up?
up, man? Back to La Cruda podcast. We welcome you back.
Welcome
This is
back.
our second episode, so welcome. And I do want to dive into this because it's been recent. It's unfortunate that we're going to talk about it because of what's been going on, but like I want to jump right into the gun violence. Obviously, there's been a shooting that took 10 people's lives, but what I want to talk about, I mean, it's very sad, but what I want to talk about is that this has happened multiple times
Yeah,
throughout the years.
yeah,
So I want to know first. I want to know your thoughts, and do you know what happened in Colorado? And I believe there's another one in Atlanta. Did you
yeah,
did you hear
yeah,
about?
yeah, yeah. The one in Atlanta is a guy that went into those like massage places or Asian massage parlors or whatever, and yeah, I think two separate ones in total. He killed 8 people,
Yeah.
right? And then they they're trying to put it on him as a hate crime. He said it wasn't a hate crime. He said he had a sex addiction, and he was trying to like kind of like basically like kill them so he doesn't have to. I don't know. I don't know. It was kind of weird because that's what the cops were saying, that he had a sex addiction. That's the reason why. That was his motive, was I have a sex addiction, so I went in there and I was trying to heal myself by killing these people so that I don't have to have sex with them. I don't know, dude. That's kind of what I don't really know too much about that one. But then the other one in Colorado, that one is still even more weird because like they were even like, I mean, it took a while for him to obviously release his name, but then when they did, it was like then they finally showed his mugshot, then showed him video of him coming out with just his underwear on and with a bloody leg. And other than that, I mean, I think he's Middle Eastern. I don't know because his name sounds like it,
I was
but
gonna say, I just googled it.
yeah,
He looks like a white Caucasian guy, but he does have a Middle Eastern name.
yeah.
So like he's a bearded like 30-year-old dude. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
that one was weird too because then they spoke to the, I don't know if it was his sister or his sister-in-law or something, but I guess she saw him playing with a gun like 6 days prior to that,
Uh,
and she took the gun and hid the gun or something, but then he still went out and bought a gun, the one that he used with when he killed those people. So I just don't understand how. I don't know the gun laws in Colorado, so I don't know how fast he was able to buy a gun. I don't. That was kind of weird. I
yeah.
didn't get anything about that, but yeah, I mean, I don't know what his motive was to kill these people. I think. I think I did. Hold on, I did read something. I just can't remember exactly what it was that he said he did it, but yeah, these two are just like too close together, and too many people died in the span of like 2 weeks. So I think uh, I think that's why they're really pushing super hard to like get this thing, these what are they called? What are they calling it? Gun reform or whatever? I don't
Oh,
know.
gun reform, and I think Biden was talking about an executive order about this
It's
shit.
like,
But
oh
yeah,
yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's. I mean, honestly, dude, like I mean, I have, like you said earlier, we were talking, Lisa, we both have, we both own firearm. We're both gun owners.
yeah.
Um, you know, I have it for protection. I actually haven't took it out in a long time to go take it to the range or anything like that. I haven't really cleaned it, uh, but to me, it's a tough one because like, yeah, I like it. I like to have it. It's for safety, but yeah, I mean, if they come in and take your stuff away, then you start to feel like yeah, it's one of those countries, like the ones you read about in the news, the ones where you don't want to be, the
Like
ones
a
where
dictatorship.
yeah, like
Yeah.
China or like North Korea or whatever. And I think it's what people are afraid of, and I get it, so but sometimes you say, oh, it's good because stuff like this doesn't happen. But then I had seen this interview with this, I don't know, he was like a former general, or I don't know what he was, but he goes, it doesn't matter what we do, there was no way of preventing these things to happen. like they're going to happen no matter what. No matter what we try to do, it's gonna happen.
Right. And let me ask you this one real quick because it
Mm.
just popped in my head. Do you think the media, like sensationally, I can't even say it, making this like sensational news? You know what I mean? You see this so much. Do you think that people start copycatting it, or you think it's something separate? You know what I mean? Like because they
Yeah.
report it so hard, you think
Uh-huh.
other people are like, you know what? I feel the same way. I'm gonna do that too.
You know, yeah, I think it gives people a little bit like it's yeah, it's like the anti like it's like the anti it's like the hope that you don't want to give somebody, like you don't want them to be like, oh, you know what, hell yeah, I'm gonna do that because he did that, and 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 he's right for it, and let's prove a point, and let's show them. It's kind of like the whole thing with Trump, so they're saying like, oh, Donald Trump says it's okay to do this, so we're gonna do that, so yeah, I think so. I think people do try to copycat because there's been like shit like that in the past with serial killers, that people try to copycat serial killers. So I don't see why this would be any different, you
Yeah.
know. And if you have access to weapons, I mean, you're gonna do it. And some people just snap, and some people, I don't really know. Dude, that's the part that's kind of weird, because like makes you kind of think like, well, how how did he do this now and not before, you know? Or what made him do it like now? Like what made him snap? But obviously that's the investigation, right? Is
Yeah.
to figure out what they want, what is that they do. But that part of it, like the mental part of it,
Yeah.
that's super interesting, because makes you wonder, like, why now? Why just right now? And why some random supermarket that no, I don't never even heard of, and it's like he's over there shooting people. I don't know if it was random. I don't know if it was, people that he knew. I don't know, so it's weird. It's
Let
it's
me
uh it's
let me ask you this question. Do you think it'd be better if people okay, let me backtrack that question, but so there's people like you and I who have owned guns for, I don't know, let's just call it 10 years, maybe a little less, maybe a little more.
yeah.
Like, do you think it'd be better if people like you and I would have concealed weapons? Like you can conceal it, and if something
Mhm.
like that was to happen, you could possibly stop a situation like that from happening. But now, like we're okay, so if you're listening, we live in California, so we have like really strict rules. It's really hard to get a concealed carry. It's hard to get certain types of guns here. Like we're very limited. And if you're like a felon or have crime, like you're definitely not buying a gun, at least legally.
Yeah.
So do you think it's a good idea for like if in Colorado or Atlanta that more people are able to carry a concealed weapon?
Yeah. Yes and no,
Okay.
because I always felt like when somebody, sometimes you see these videos online too of people having concealed weapons, and then somebody starts shit like road raging, and then obviously these guys pull out guns, and sometimes it does de-escalate the situation. Somebody goes, all right, I'm done. I'm not gonna do anything anymore. But yeah, you're right. I mean, if somebody had a gun at that moment in that supermarket, and that guy was shooting people, potentially could have been less deaths, could have
Yeah.
prevented something. And I think, yeah, like I said, I don't know the gun laws in Colorado. I don't know how strict it is to get a concealed weapon, but I mean, yeah, I think it could have. I
Yeah.
think could have, and it's like, but it is still. I just think that if you're gonna have a concealed weapon, I mean, I don't. I mean, and if you're gonna kill people, then why do you need a concealed license weapon? You're gonna carry it anyway. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what
Like
I
if
mean. Like, let's say
yeah,
you find one or you buy one. Let's say, someone stole my gun. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, I have it here and someone stole it. Like,
right, right, right,
that
right.
can happen. But
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
what I'm saying is, like, obviously, people get, you get tested. You have to go through like prerequisites to own a gun. So I can imagine going through prerequisites to actually like have a concealed carry. I'm not talking about everybody, but I'm talking about maybe more people who are qualified. Because I
Right.
think a lot of people are very intelligent and are qualified, and they could actually carry one without like using emotion to, like you said, the road rage incident.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
have to use it in a positive way. I know there are people out there who like to pretend they're like cops and robbers or like in the old westerns and shit, and
Yeah.
they shouldn't have that
No.
that freedom to carry one. But
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like you don't want a guy who's like, oh yeah, like look at this and fucking always busting out a gun. But like,
Yeah, yeah. I think though, I think I have, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they had talked about that people should have like a mental evaluation before they were able to purchase a gun or something like that. I think there were some talks about that, which I don't think it's a bad idea. But then again, there's always that. But what if, But what if this person, even though necessarily they did have some sort of mental issue, uh, what's to say that they might have this mental issue, but then what if they're just smart enough to just beat that test so they can still use so to get the gun.
yeah,
So it's tough, dude. It's tough to say, like, but I mean, but I guess it's okay to put in these different stipulations that that you have to go through to to own something as powerful as a weapon.
yeah,
um it's, I mean, yeah, like obviously we've seen like this people the wrong people with that power in their hands is it's just scary. It's like
I
they
agree,
shouldn't they shouldn't have it.
hundred
and
percent.
but I don't know. I just it's so hard, man, because it's hard to stop it. It's just so hard to stop it. It's so hard to take it away. When it's been around for so long. And these gun owners, man, these hardcore gun owners, like people in NRA and shit like that, they're really about that life. They're
Well, they're
about that life, and they ain't gonna fucking go down. Just like, oh, here's my shit. Here's my gun. Take it.
yeah.
They ain't gonna have it, and it kind of makes you think like, will they fight back? Will there be some sort of civil war? And
Do you
you know,
believe
you,
that though?
you-
The
uh,
so they, I want to say it's the amendment, but maybe it's one of those documents. I can't think of it where it says like a well-formed militia, because a lot of
yeah,
people believe in having militias, especially like the Michigan militia.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So do
Um,
you agree with that? You think?
I, I think, I, I think the likelihood of people rising up against the government in that way, and it being that simple, it's not likely. I don't think so, because I mean, regardless of what you try to do, and regardless of how much you want to hate the system or how much you want to hate the government and don't want them to do this, the U.S. Army, the U.S. Military is still the largest military in the world, and I don't think that they're going to let their own people rise up against them and not be able to stop it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Without bloodshed, though, I don't think it's possible. I think some people will die if that were to happen. I think it's just inevitable, because if you point a gun at somebody, they're gonna point one more back. You're gonna be blood on somebody's hands.
for
So
sure.
it's tough. It's tough, and I don't want to see it to get to that point, dude. But I mean, I mean, I'm not a politician. I don't know how they come up with these laws or whatever, or how they even begin to even talk about what they're going to do. But it's that hard that to even say it as like, well, what if they did that? It's hard to even say what if. I
Now,
can't think of anything.
now I just thought about this in my head. I know if people are watching this, probably like fuck that. But like I'm thinking, like, what if you had to constantly take like mandatory training or like prove that you're in a good mental state either each year or like
Mm-hmm.
every other year to
Mm-hmm.
you have to have a driver's license, so you have to like every 5 years
Renew. You have to renew. You
to
have to
renew
renew. It's like a license renewal, but yet also evaluation at the same time. I got you.
that. Like the test, you have to take it, especially the take a test.
Mm.
Down the road, you already got your license, but you still have to keep that training or whatever. Would you agree to do that as a gun owner for your
As
gun?
as a gun owner and
Yeah,
as a person with pretty good mental health,
yeah,
yes, I'd be okay with that.
right.
Yeah, yeah, why not? It's not that hard. If it's just a evaluation, then yeah, it's not hurting me none.
Yeah, yeah. I'd agree to that.
It's
Would you
I,
agree would you agree to that if it, like, costs you money?
I had to pay for it.
I don't know, let's just say it's gonna cost you $15, $20 every year. Now, would you
Nah,
still own one?
yeah, I do it. I mean, I have to do it myself every year to keep my license for what I do for a living, you know. So,
Yeah, yeah,
and it's every 2 years, but I have to do it, you know. And
yeah.
I think if you, yeah, if you're trying to keep something, and that's a good thing you bring up, because what I do, and I have to go in and take I have to go in and into seminars and read up on stuff, and kind of like keep me up to date on what's going on, so that you know what you're doing, you
Right.
know. So it's basically the same thing. So
So you're
it's
continuing your education on it. You don't lose your.
oh yeah,
You don't.
continue,
You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like, regardless if you think you know it, like it's still good to brush
credits.
up on it. Yeah. To
Yeah,
like just practice.
yeah, you need the credits. You need the credits to keep up and make sure that you're still able to do fit. You're fit to do your job. You know. So yeah, I mean, if I have to do that for a job, and I think people should be mentally fit to hold a gun in their hand. You know.
Now, do you think we should be limited on how many guns we own, or do you think that doesn't even matter?
I I mean, I like I said, I don't know how many hardcore gun owners are going to watch this, but and might hate me for saying this, but I don't really think we are. I don't think we should, that people, regular people like you and I, should have a fucking fully automatic weapon in my house. Like, I don't need to fucking unload a 30 round clip into anything that's not a target. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's, yeah. So if I'm walking down the street and I know that the guy in the house has like 10 guns, and they're all fully automatic guns, then yeah, it's a fucking problem. You know, it's weird. And
It's
it's
weird.
just like, okay, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
Curious.
uh,
So you have one, right?
I have one. Yeah, I have a handgun. Yeah.
So I started a little collection. I think I'm like at 6 or maybe 7.
But are they fully auto?
No, of course not.
They can't. You can't,
No,
right? Yeah,
you
they're
can't have
semi.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
they're semi, but, like, sometimes people who don't have any guns at all
Hmm.
look at that and you're like, they would think like, "What the fuck? What do you need 6 for?" But I'm just
But then,
like,
but that's 6 guns. It's fine, because um, if you're a hunter, if you're that's your thing. You know, you're a hunter. You like to go out hunt. You have six different rifles. I get it. You know,
yeah, yeah,
each one has a specific uh I guess weight to it, or to shoot this, or to kill that, or to go hunting for this. I get it. That's cool.
yeah,
Like, I don't see anything wrong with that. I mean, the only thing I see wrong with is like what I said. Like, they're just, then that's the reason why it's not like you can't do, and that's the reason why you can't even have a 30 round clip, right?
yeah.
But I think, yeah, that's a little overkill for just a regular Joe. You know what I mean?
I think I'll paint a picture for you. I think we're both in agreement, like, remember in Terminator 2 where they, like,
Uh,
go underground, like, Arnold Schwarzenegger pull the shit at the top, they're, like, in Mexico, and then they
yeah,
have,
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
mad guns,
Right,
and he
right,
gets
right.
a little minigun.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Like, that's what you're saying, like, no one needs that much fucking
No,
firepower at
no,
the time.
no. Well,
Like,
at that point, it's like, where the fuck do you even get a minigun from? You know, like, who fuck sells miniguns? Like, straight up at a fucking gun shop.
but
But
you know what I mean? Like, if some dude had, like, let's say, like, 10 AR-15s, 30 rounds on his
mhm,
wall, you're like, "Dude, do you really need 10 of those?" Like,
no. But
you're like,
there is a couple people that I would follow on YouTube, that had like uh channels with, I think there's one guy in specific that his name's, I think the name of the channel is called Demolition Ranch or something like that.
I think I've
And
seen
this guy's always blowing shit up with like 50 caliber, sniper rifles, and just blowing shit up, and it's fun. I think it looks fun,
yeah, yeah.
I'm sure that guy has a shit ton of guns, but are they fully auto? I don't know. I don't know where he lives, because he lives in a out in the, he looks like he has a lot of big property, so if you have big property, and you're out there, and I think if you own stuff like that, like a farm and this now, I think that you should, that having as many guns as you have, like six guns, I see why not, because people like to, steal shit off people's properties, especially people that own farms or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think that's not, that wouldn't be weird. It's actually okay, but again, uh, if you're just some regular person and you creep people out because of just the way you are, and you have all these guns in your collection, and you wear a fucking trench coat, then yeah, I mean, there'd be a cause for concern. I'd be like, oh, okay, it's not stay away from that shit. But
Well, it's so weird to me because you said earlier before that the sister of one of the shooter guys said that
yeah,
she noticed weird behavior, but it's like it's more of a behavior thing, don't you think? Like,
it is, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If you're not in the right, I mean, obviously, I guess when you want something really bad, you're gonna do whatever it takes to get it. And if that guy had, like okay, for instance, like that cop from the thing that happened in Atlanta, and the guy said, oh, it wasn't a hate crime, and the sheriff said, oh yeah, he said it wasn't a hate crime, he was just having a really bad day.
yeah, that's some
No,
bullshit.
dude. No, dude. I don't fucking have a really bad day and go into a fucking spa and kill 8 people. That's not my bad day. My bad day is being a dick at work because I'm not talking to somebody
Yeah,
and they're like, hey, it's gonna be an asshole. And I'm like, yeah, I had a bad day, dude. But I'm
yeah.
not gonna go and kill anybody for it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
there's definitely two different levels. Like this,
Oh yeah.
that sheriff is a fucking idiot.
At first, yeah, for
And
sure.
you know what I mean? Like, I get what you're saying. Like, that's way past having a bad day. That's like,
Yeah.
no, dude. Like, you're just not right. You're fucking
No, that's murder, dude. You murdered 8 people because you wanted to kill people. Like you
right.
wanted to, you know?
Yeah,
I mean, I know that we as humans, we all have these emotions and I'm guilty of saying in the past, uh, like getting into a fight with somebody or some guy talking shit, and I'm just like, man, fuck that guy. I'm gonna kill that fucking guy. Dude, fucking kill him. And you're like, I'm not really gonna kill the guy. I'm
right.
just saying that out of anger. I'm saying anger. This guy fucking said I'm gonna kill people, and he went and killed people.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
And
but
8,
it's 8 people, and it's not.
not
And
just
then,
no,
huh?
sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. I said not
Oh, oh,
one,
oh,
not
yeah, yeah. No,
guy.
yeah, not one, not two, but 8 people. Regardless, one or two still doesn't matter. But 8 people, and with all the Asian hate crimes that are happening right now, which I want to get into too. I mean, I don't know if you want to talk about that, but
Yeah, for sure.
the Asian hate crimes and him killing 8. I mean, I think what was it, like 6 of them were Asian or 5 of them were? I'm not sure,
It was a good
but
amount. Yeah, it was
yeah.
like
So
six,
yeah,
six,
6.
7. Yeah,
Yeah, and he said it wasn't a hate crime. I think it was, and but then honestly, dude, I mean we haven't even touched into this, but I mean just like what was it, like a week or two ago, there was that uh street vendor guy, the Mexican guy that was selling like elotes or something like that. Uh, the guy called him over to buy something, and he shot him in the head, execution style. He called him over, said, "Hey man, I want to buy something from you." And the guy rolled up his cart. "Oh, what do you want?" Started making this thing and just shot him back of the head.
did
And
they
it's
say
just
why?
like,
Did
no,
they say why?
no, they didn't. He shot him and took off. And I don't know. I don't think they've caught him yet. And then and online on Instagram and all these Chicano pages that I follow, they're all like, dude, where's all the? Why aren't we talking about that? Why aren't we talking about this? They go, Black Lives Matter, Asian Lives Matter, but like, what is? But you know, I know that they say that because they're angry. Obviously, everyone's angry. No one's, I mean, I think we all, as minorities, we all have that anger in us. That
Yeah,
why is this happening? And then you see that it's the people that are doing it, and it's just random, and it's like out of like fun. That shit makes you pissed off. There's no real reason to do it. These guys are just
yeah,
out there making a living, and then they're getting popped or they're getting beat up, and old people like targeting old people, like
yeah,
I
yeah,
guess it's becoming some sort of game. And
yeah,
it's really messed up. I think those are really sick. Those are sick. I mean, yeah, people dying, 8 people, 10 people, um, definitely, murdered. That's also horrific. But I think these kids that are out there, I say kids because they look young, man. These people that are causing these problems, but
yeah,
it's beating these people up. It's a sick ass game, dude. It's sick, and I don't. It really, when I see these things, when I see these videos, people filming it or whatever, like it really does kind of twist at you a little bit, like kind of makes you pissed off, pisses you off seeing that because these people don't deserve any of that stuff, like at
yeah.
all. They're trying to make a living,
It's
you know.
bullshit. They're just minding their business.
Yeah,
It's like
man, they're man, you know.
these people, these shooters are like picking on people who won't fuck with them. You know, it's
But
just
the
instant. They don't, you know what I mean? Like they're just, I don't wanna say it's, like, not fair, they're just, like, going for people who are super innocent, who have n you know what I mean? Like, they didn't run into, like, it would be bad either way, they don't run into a police station and start shooting, 'cause they're gonna get fucking murdered. But you know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean? Like, they're going to these places that, like, grocery stores, schools, massa
yeah,
what the really? Like, what the fuck's going on?
yeah. It's just like all this shit's like random as hell. It's like not even like there hasn't even been one that's connected to the other. You know, like that's it, to say like, oh yeah, this same guy did this to this guy. You know, it's like random ass people are just getting up one day and walking outside their house and going, "There's a street vendor. I'm gonna go clock him." And it's just like, what the fuck, like
Yeah.
what makes you wake up in the morning? And you know, I'm not trying to start anything or anything, but you notice a lot of these people that are doing that, and they're they're
What?
black. They're
Wait,
black.
what do you mean?
Like those,
Okay.
like like the ones that are like,
Oh, they're
yeah, the
shooting?
ones. No, no, the like the street vendors and stuff like that.
Oh,
You
shit.
know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, and it's like, well, from the some that I've seen, but I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that's
I know what you're saying.
like a racial thing, but I'm just saying like I've noticed that, and but also like, but yeah, it can be anybody, but it's just so happened to be, you know, black people. But whatever, regardless of what of who it is doing it, it's wrong as fuck. You know, it's just wrong and should stop. Like just and and one day, dude. I mean, one day, I mean, one of these street vendors ain't gonna fucking take it, and they're gonna be carrying a fucking pistol underneath their cart there, and someone's gonna get blasted. You know, so I just it's a touchy subject right now, man, because everyone's on edge. You know,
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, that's why I
Every-
wanna talk about it because it's a weird thing that's going on now, especially after the weird year of COVID lockdowns. It's like,
yeah,
I feel like
yeah,
people are becoming more free with the lockdowns, and now they're, like, doing some crazy shit. So it's like it surprises to me, like, correlation that we're all starting to kinda
yeah.
get back into things, and then, like, now there's shootings, and then there's violence and shit like that, so it's tripping me out, for sure, and I wanna go back a little bit to that game. You remember how I feel like it was a popular game where, like, it would just be teenagers that would knock people out. Remember? You just knock
Oh
people
yeah, yeah,
and then I feel like it's escalated to, like, shooting. Like, what
yeah,
the fuck is going on, you know what I mean? Like, how is this fucking funny or fun or,
yeah.
like, whatever it is, you
Whoa.
know, whatever the reason you're doing it for.
What trips me out is like it's like I don't know, dude. Like something tells me that these things are coming off like dares or something. You know, like someone goes like, "Hey man, I dare you to go knock out that little old Asian man right there." You know,
Yeah, yeah,
and then they knock him out, and he's 87, he's dead. You know,
yeah,
like it ain't just a knockout. You know, it's like you're killing these people. Like
yeah,
you're like the people you target because they're innocent don't have aren't young and they're killing these innocent people, and it's sad, dude, because like imagine that being your family member. You think about it, you're like, hey, how'd your grandpa die? Like got fucking he got
sure.
punched in the side of the head,
Yeah, yeah.
just walking down the street coming back from his daily walk or whatever. It's
Why
messed up.
why do you think it's, like, Asians? Well,
Well, I honestly I think the Asian part has to do a lot with what's happening with this whole coronavirus thing. I think it's ever since the corona thing happened, everyone started blaming Asian people. But it's like, how are you gonna blame Asian people? Like, not everybody that's Asian had coronavirus. I mean, yeah, I mean they say it started in China, but then again, I mean, it spread around, and not only Asian people had it. Yeah, I mean, there are other people that had it that aren't Asian and weren't following the rules of
yeah,
trying to, keep it contained. And now you're over here spreading and not wearing a mask. So, I don't think you can just blame Chinese people or Asian people, whatever you want to say, because uh, I just don't think that it's not fair. They didn't. I mean, they didn't make it. The person that you're knocking out over here, they didn't make it.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
they're infected. They're infected just like you are. I'm just saying, just like saying, it's the same thing. They didn't want it.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
I just think
so
I was gonna add on to it. I think, from the old presidency, he kept saying the China virus and, like, you know,
China virus,
like,
yeah,
like, what the fuck? Regardless if it came from there or not, it's a weird thing to call it because then you're associating it with, Asian people, like you said,
yeah,
and it's like people who you know what I mean? There's weird people out there who follow that, and they're like, well, this guy's Chinese, even though there could be a whole different type of Asian,
Yeah,
culture. And then that's where we're seeing this bullshit. That's what I really think. I think it's people are like, no, we didn't win the election. It was rigged. This is happening. All those weird theories. So I'm gonna do something about it. And
yeah,
they're doing dumb shit, dude.
yeah. And people, I really do think that, even though Donald Trump's not in office anymore, I mean, I really think that he was an instigator, a hardcore instigator with these people, and as much as as much as people didn't like him, he he had a big he had a big following, dude, and these people follow him. They follow his words. They treat him as he was great, and how back in the day, he had a great king. People follow their king, and and now these people are kind of. I feel a lot of these people are kind of like laying out their anger because he's not in office anymore, and a lot of these people have these pent up aggressions, inside, and they want to, I guess, prove a point, but they're proving their point is causing lives people to, you know. But then again, it's like I said, it's not just Donald Trump supporters. Obviously, I'm not gonna say that, but I'm saying
No,
there's
not at all.
people that are out there that have taken some of the stuff that was said, you know,
I
and
think it's
taking
just
it to,
extremists. People are taking words. It doesn't even have to be this president. It can be
yeah,
all older presidents. They take shit to extreme. Like
yeah,
there's
yeah,
no need for that shit. It's
no,
it's it's kind of I don't know. It's kind of weird, but like us. Do you remember that movie Higher Learning? I was
yeah,
watching that today.
yeah, yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, wow, that's so relevant right now. Like that
Oh yeah,
movie is
yeah.
so relevant. And if you haven't seen it, it's with Ice Cube and Mike Epps or Omar Epps.
Mike,
One of the
Mike,
Epps.
I think Mike Epps. No, no, not Mike Epps.
Omar Epps.
Omar Epps, I think, or something.
And
I don't,
Tyra
I don't, I don't, I don't know. I forgot one of the Epps.
I just watched it. So as Tyra
Yeah,
Banks, Omar Epps, Ice Cube, Busta Rhymes in it.
Buster
Yeah,
Rhymes. Yeah,
yeah,
Buster Rhymes in
and
it.
that
It's a very racially motivated movie.
yeah,
Like it really is black and whites, and
yeah.
uh,
It's
so yeah, it's powerful. It's a powerful message.
it's a powerful movie. It has to
Yeah,
do with school shootings, and this is like in 1995. So like it resonates perfectly today. So if you haven't seen it, watch it. I think it's a great movie to watch. And
it's I.
that's it kind of made me want to talk about it today, just because I was like, this is happening right now. And
Well, I think if you want to talk about a racial movie with has to do with race, and I mean, this movie had a lot to do with. I think it's sent a pretty powerful message to it. It was American History X.
that's
That
a good one.
it's a very good one there, and shows you that people could change. If it came to that type of stuff. When it comes to racial stuff, and people can open their eyes and see that it's not all about that. That we can all be you know we can all be the same. And I don't think that it's ever going to change. I think people are always going to grow up to be, some people are going to always learn to have that in their heart, and not see it like that. And for me, it's for us being minorities and stuff. I think that um it's hard, dude, because like, I mean, I don't I've it's I've never really been too much into like a racial thing. I've never been in one of those, but I have been called a spick before, and that was from a guy that was super angry. And uh, first of all, I'm not a spick because that's
Yeah,
not my. I'm, I don't think a Mexican can be called a spick, but yeah, I mean,
it's
me and my
great
brother,
though. Yeah,
yeah, we were, but I get it. I get what he was going for, and that right there really, really, that was weird. That was an experience. It happened to me and my brother. And it was an experience because I've never had that before. Before that day, I never had anybody ever call me anything racially, like told me anything.
yeah.
Whatever, Mexican. I've had friends that are just like we make jokes or whatever. And this is in the past where we're saying a joke, like a racial joke, wasn't that big of a deal. But nowadays, you say something racially, everyone's all over your ass. But
Yeah.
that day was a trip, and it was over driving through a parking lot, and that's crazy, man. That guy was probably having a bad day too, but his bad day really fucking brought out the real him, and I was just like, wow, man, like you're really gonna call me that over driving on the wrong side of the road, Like it was weird. It
Yeah,
was very so yeah, whatever.
I
But yeah,
I understand that completely because growing up, maybe sometimes people wouldn't call you something, but they definitely would look at you and assume shit, and like you just could tell when
you get
people
judged. You get judged.
you could tell when you're getting judged. And
Yeah.
even I have two examples for last year. Now that you brought it up, one was like I was walking in Carlsbad, the little downtown area,
Yeah.
at night, and some girl was just like, "Oh, let me hear your voice. I want to hear your accent." And I was like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "Do you just assume that I'm like not from here?" You know what I mean? Like it's so
Yeah.
weird to me.
Yeah.
And then I was like, "I don't have a fucking accent. Like I'm from here." You know what I mean? Like it was just really weird. I laughed that one off because it tripped me out. It was like a fucking curveball.
Let me hear your accent. Huh? That's what
Yeah,
you said.
I didn't say a word. I was just walking with a buddy. And
Yeah. Yeah.
let me hear your accent. I was like, "What the fuck? Let me hear yours." Like it was just random. Like okay,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
whatever. Just kept walking.
But
I That was fun.
there's different. I think there's different ways I can go about, like, like that right there. Obviously, kind of was I can kind of understand what she was trying to do, saying like, "Oh, let me hear your accent because you're Mexican, right? Let me hear your
Right.
accent, because I'm supposed to have an accent because I'm Mexican." But I remember being in Texas, um, a couple years ago, a couple years back, and I remember we walk into this bar, and this I don't remember if it was the waitress, or I mean not the bartender, or somebody was sitting there, said they heard us talking, and one one of the guys that we were with had a very thick California surfer,
Yeah.
sound to him, and they heard us talking. They're like, y'all ain't from around here, right? And I'm just like, oh, how can you tell? Like it was
Yeah. Yeah.
funny. It was
Yeah.
funny,
That's
but
fun.
but I get it, because you're not from Texas. People with Texas have an accent,
Right. Right.
and whatever, it's a country accent. So, so that's okay. I get it.
Right.
But yeah, well,
I
your situation was a little. That's definitely,
I
yeah,
taken
weird.
negatively. I just thought it was weird, and if she was saying it just normal, it probably should have been phrased a little different. But I was just like, whatever. I just kept walking. Then another.
Now,
Go ahead.
hold on, before you continue. Now, if what if they thought you were not Mexican, and they thought you were maybe French or some shit like that, like something, and they said, "Hey, let me hear your accent." Is that still that's still weird? Like, is that still a weird thing if they didn't think you were Mexican? They thought you were some different, like from some other country? Like, is that
No,
still
no, I don't. I usually can't recognize French people because I've only
well?
encountered so
Well,
many.
I just said French, but it
No,
could be
no,
anything.
I know what you're
Yeah,
saying, but
yeah,
like
yeah,
in my life, most of the time people will just automatically assume that I'm like from Mexico, but like just jump the border kind of shit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
oh yeah, where no, but we're like the classic question, especially if you're like Latino and you're listening to this, is like, where are you from? And then you'll be like, from like from here, but like no, I mean what part of Mexico? Like we were born, like they're insinuating that we were born in Mexico and like then traveled up here to live here.
Yeah,
I get
yeah.
it. Some people do, and that's fine. There's some people are like dual citizenship, or some people move countries, and that's fine.
Right,
But since we live in Southern California, a lot of times it's insinuated in a negative way. Like we just jumped the border and now we're over here.
right.
Now we're supposed to be. You know what I mean? Like it's
Cause
never
we're so close. Cause we're so close.
right. It's not that we're living in New York and they're like, oh, are you from Canada? It's because our heritage is Mexican. Mexico's right there. It's
Right.
right next door.
You know, the funny thing about accents, or talking, and somebody not knowing where you're from, or who you are, or whatever. I was at work, and I was talking to this patient, and then and obviously we're wearing a mask, right, the whole time, and all she can see is this, and but I'm talking to her in Spanish, right? And obviously my Spanish is, I think it's better than it's ever been, but I think that the way but if I go to Mexico, dude, and I go talk to like my family down in Mexico, and I speak Spanish, they're gonna know right away. Okay, this guy was not born here. Like his accent is still,
Yeah, yeah.
I can hear it.
It's
So I'm talking to this lady. And she goes, cause she was talking to me in Spanish, and asked her, oh, where are you? What part of Mexico are you from? And she says, oh, I'm from so and so. And I said, oh, okay. And then she goes, and then she asked me, where are you from? And I said, oh, well, I was born here. I was born in Los Angeles. And she goes, oh, um, she's like, but like, where are you from though? Like, what's your? And I was like, I'm Mexican. Like, my family is from whatever. And then she's all, oh, she starts laughing. And I'm like, well, what did you think? And she's like, I thought you were Middle Eastern. And I was like, what?
okay.
And I'm just, because I was, and I said, oh, what made you think that? And she goes, oh, because of your eyebrows, because they're so thick. And I was like, oh, okay, like I get it. Middle Eastern people have thick eyebrows, and so do Mexican people, but
Yeah.
I didn't get offended because obviously, it was just something that maybe my Spanish to her was a little bit like, yeah, a little off, and obviously I probably have like an accent, but not that big of an accent, I guess. And so yeah, I get it. I get where she came from. We all laughed about it. We had a good laugh about it, but there's certain things like that are fine, but there's just, I don't know, that right there, what happened to you, that kind of, I think I would have got a little pretty fucking like upset about that. I don't know. It's
That
just
was
kind
a
of,
big deal. It's just that I'll tell you another story. The same, like maybe 6 months, 8 months in the same area, and
eh,
this dude was faded. He's pretty drunk. But basically, I fought a dude because he became racist.
uh,
He's like, me and same cousin were walking,
mm-hmm,
and we were walking in that same parking lot, and this dude's like, I don't know what he said, but he's like, "Fuck you, I'll fuck both you guys up." And we're like, "What? Like, calm down, man. Like, you've had a few too many to drink."
yeah,
And then, yeah, man, he like, "You're not from here," and like, and I don't know, the same shit, like insinuating that I just like, and then maybe I don't think I'm incorrect, but like it was negative as fuck. Like I didn't
right,
like what? What the fuck are you talking about? Like calm down. First of all, he already insulted us saying that he could fight us both and fuck us up. I'm like, you need to calm down, dude. Like for real, calm down.
right.
Then he's like, you're not from here. Like, man, I don't know if he said beaner. I feel like he did, but I don't really remember. I had a
That's
couple.
usually that's usually the word they use when they want
Yeah,
they want to something like that.
I had a couple drinks too, so I wasn't like 100% there, but like I definitely was in a better shape than that dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got into it, man. Just for stupid shit like that. You just it's very frustrating. It's very like especially when you're minding your own business. It's not like you did
yeah,
anything to these people. And that's what
yeah,
stuff that pisses you off too about like those people getting killed. They're not even fucking with you. They have nothing to do with your issue towards anybody or
yeah.
anything. You know?
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. And now that we're on the subject of like, you know, racial slurs, um, you saw that video of that lady that was in that I don't know, it was like a coffee shop or something, in a mall, I don't know what, but she wasn't wearing a mask, and obviously right now it's a big deal, right? You go to a restaurant, they're like, no, we're not gonna serve you.
Was it the
So
one
she's,
maybe?
so she, huh?
Yeah, like a stroller?
Yeah. And then she, remember that, you saw it, you saw it. Then
Yeah. I
she was wearing
saw
a mask. They didn't want the guy said, I'm not gonna serve you, and there's people around saying he's not gonna serve you. You're not wearing a mask. Her her kids, her children, or her babies that she had with her, you could obviously tell that those kids were not just white. They looked like a mixed race.
right.
Um, don't know if it was black and white. I don't know. I'm not even gonna speculate because I don't know. But she said, "Oh, well, he's not gonna serve me and so." And I'm not. I don't know word for word she said, but all I know is that she said something around the lines of, "Oh, he's not gonna serve me because he's a dirty ass N word,"
And
and yeah, and I was like, but okay, that happened and whatever. I don't know that that's the end. But then I saw this follow up thing saying that she's not apologizing. Like she's not gonna apologize. Like she's holding her ground and shit.
yeah.
And then whatever, that's fine. Hold your ground. But uh, it just it's crazy because like regardless of whether she apologizes or not, it's still already kind of fucked her a little bit,
Yeah, yeah.
because everyone knows her as the lady that used some racial slur to this guy that just said, "Hey, he's following the rules. I can't serve you because that's
Exactly.
just But
Yeah.
now it's even worse now because she's not apologizing. Now people are gonna eat her alive because for that reason. So and on top of that, what can happen is people will find you because anybody online will find you. They're gonna find who you are. They're gonna find out where you live, and then poor kids, have to deal with that now. Their mom decided that she wants to be like that, and it's gonna come back and haunt them, and it sucks, because
Yeah.
they don't want to apologize. And um, but I mean, it's hard, dude, because everyone wants to be entitled to their own like shit, like hey, if you want to be like that, it's fine. I'm gonna be, it's fine. But um, but it's just regardless of whether or not you don't want to apologize, I think to just apologize, man, because your kids are gonna suffer too that shit,
Yeah.
like because and it's crazy though. It's crazy how she said that though, because you do see the kids and you're like, these kids are mixed race and you're
Yeah.
gonna talk like that. That's kind of weird,
I agree. I saw that too. I was like, that baby's like brown.
Yeah, exactly.
Tripped me out. But I was gonna say, well, the thing that pisses me off about people like that, and there's another one that the lady was at the bank. I don't know if you saw that. She was
Oh,
like,
I saw that one. I saw that one, but every time I saw it, it was her getting like, yeah, her. But I don't know what she said. What did she say?
she was saying the one at the bank was like, you're impeaching my rights, like like the man, because in Texas the mandate dropped.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But like the cop was like super chill. He was like, well, this is a private business, and the rule is they want masks on here. Like
Right.
there could be other businesses that don't require masks, and that's cool. But for this one, you need one. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's like if I went to your house and you're like, "Hey, man, you need to take off your shoes because I'm trying to keep this carpet clean." I'm like, all right, cool. I'll take my shoes off. You know what I mean?
Right. 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 Right.
And that doesn't bring me to my point with that lady with the stroller.
Mm,
Listen, if that lady wants to be racist and like be a piece of shit and talk shit at her own house or like among her friends or wherever it's cool for her to do that, and do that in your own private fucking place. Because obviously racism is existent and it's going to exist in private.
yeah.
And I think people are going to be public about it. But as soon as you step into a business and like it's just a rule, like everyone abides by other rules, right? Like there's the
Yeah.
no shirt, no shoes, no service. Same shit, no mask, no service.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, you rock your seatbelt. Why? Because it's mandated. It's the law. You don't. These people 50 years ago wouldn't even have a fucking seatbelt on their car, or they wouldn't put it
Yeah.
on. You know what I mean? Because it
Yeah.
wasn't a
Yeah.
rule.
Yeah.
So just follow the fucking rule. How hard is it? I mean, dude, I don't find it very hard to just like rock a mask when I
It's
go
not
into a place and like whatever I got to do, and then when I get out, I'd like take it off because I'm in my car. That's me.
exactly.
That's what I mean. You could wear it the whole time, whatever people like. Some people I see they're wearing a mask while they're driving. Cool, that's you
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
don't do
see
that,
that
but
far,
yeah. Yeah.
but if you want to do that, cool. I'm not tripping on that.
I
It's just
mean,
it trips me out. How do you walk into a place and just be like, no, it's cool because I think this way. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. 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 And it's very ignorant of people to do that, dude. I mean, I get it. They're trying to prove a point, but it's just not gonna happen. It's just not. No one's gonna take that right. No one's gonna say, "Okay, man, all right, you're right, you're right, you're right. Go ahead and wear. Well, go ahead and sure wear your mask. As long as you just go grab your stuff and get out of here, and that's fine." It's not gonna. It's not gonna go down that way.
Yeah.
Like, and it's funny because you think these people would already know by now that it's not gonna go down the way they want it to. Like, I mean, people are fucking getting arrested. Obviously, you saw that lady, but we're getting arrested, dude. And people are making a big deal, saying, "Oh, well, they're getting arrested for not wearing masks." Yeah, dude. Like just like you said, they're it's it's not the law yet, but it's mandated, and it's like, dude, like we're trying to get to the point where we don't have to wear these anymore, and by you doing that, it's kind of it's prolonging it. Like you're gonna wear that for longer now if you keep just help out, just
Yeah.
help out. It's not that hard. Some people just don't have time for that bullshit, dude. Like I guess people just don't want to. Some people don't want to. People don't want to just they're just too busy, dude. They feel like they're too busy. They feel like they're too cool. They're just not. They're just not. It's like a joke to them, And and I know this, but what's funny, dude? There's people like I'm not gonna obviously say names, but there's people that I've worked with that the people that are really legit about it because they have like cloth masks, like stuff they buy that are like the designs or something like that on it, and they wear it because they gotta wear it. But then you have those people where they're like they walk in, they're like, oh, I don't have a mask, like can I get one? Like I don't have one, and I'm like, dude, you should have a mask. Like why the fuck don't you have a mask? Like you really just walk out everywhere you go, toss it, and just expect for the next person the next place you walk into to have it for
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
Like no, man. Like it's happened to me a lot of times at work. I'm just like, I can give you one easily. It's not gonna hurt me none to give you one,
right,
but it's really annoying to know that you're still coming in here without a mask. I'm just like, just why don't you have one, man? Like have one.
like, we're
Just
already past a year of this shit. You should be prepared. It's only
yeah,
the first week or the first day, and we're all remember, I don't know if you remember, people are freaking out, trying to buy masks or, like, where can we get one?
yeah,
Everyone
yeah.
should have at least 1 or 2. Like, I think I have a bunch hanging in my car alone, you know what I
Oh
mean? Like
yeah, I have my center console. Yeah, they're just there, and I have one in my backpack right now. I'm just like, so there's just no real reason why you shouldn't have one by now. Like just have one, bro. Just use it, and the more you use it, the faster we'll get through this shit. And you know, but now, I mean, I don't know if maybe we could leave this one to the next time. But
uh-huh,
now that this whole vaccine thing is like more like it's happening, more and more people are getting it, a lot more people are like celebrities are showing that they're doing it, and it's like I think it's good, but there's still a lot of people that are just like no, they're just no, no, no,
yeah,
they're
yeah,
just like not for it. And it's funny, they're like at work there's only like probably 3 people that because it's not mandatory, but that don't have it. They're not obligated to get it, and I read on the CDC website that now anybody that's fully vaccinated can be in a room with your mask off and you don't have to social distance anymore.
yeah,
But
yeah,
because of those people, we can't even do that at work. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, if you could do that, we could be a little more free here and
yeah,
we'd
yeah.
have a nice time at work. But it's not. They're not doing it, man. They're
Well,
afraid.
I think a lot of people won't do it, so, just the way
Yeah,
it's gonna be. I had
yeah,
one more point or one more thing to talk about before we wrap this.
yeah, yeah.
So, I tried to mention it earlier, a lot of the shooters have been, like, 20s, 30s, like, white dudes. Why do you
Mm.
think that is?
That's a good question.
They're not you think they're like incels? You know what I'm talking about? Incels?
No,
Those are
what is
the
that?
those are the dudes that, like, I don't know if they swear off chicks or, like, they don't or maybe they can't. We need to Google it and put it up, but
Yeah.
it's like if I could just show you a clip of, like, one incel, you'd be like, "What the fuck?" Like, dorky guys who, like, can't can't talk to chick they, like, hate on chicks. They're
Oh, I see. No, I
like,
know what you're
"Fuck
talking
that.
about.
Fuck those girls, blah, blah, blah," and
It's like,
I'm not even I don't know.
ye-
It's, like, really extreme, like, they're, like because they don't hook up with them. You know what I mean? Like, they're
yeah,
such
yeah, yeah. They're they're
dynamic,
they're they're
but they want to, I feel like,
yeah,
but they just
yeah. They're just really frustrated, and they feel like they can't have anything, so they have to kind of like their aggression comes. It's like pent up aggression, pent up like anger and frustration, and these hurt feelings of yeah, I get it. I get what you're saying. Like a fucking like you say, oh, I'm the nerdy guy, and no one wants the nerdy guy, and it's always gonna be that way. I'm always gonna be hurt. No one ever wants me. Like same thing though, but I don't know why it's older white men. I don't know. I don't know if that's has anything to do mentally unstable, but I mean, I think any race can be mentally unstable, but
well,
I don't know why it's the white people that are causing these like multi casualty
I don't know.
shootings? Like that's a good question. I don't know.
Something good to look into. I mean, the only one I can think of that wasn't white was the DC sniper. Remember that guy?
Oh yeah, the DC sniper.
He rigged up a van with his son or stepson or whoever it was, and they shot in the DC area.
Hmm.
One, and then I don't know if what was his name? Turner, the cop.
Oh yeah, the guy that they just recently put that his picture up in that billboard. They said thank you to all the cops, and then they had his Jeffrey. No, his name was Donner or Don.
Dorner.
Yeah,
Dorner.
yeah. So I don't. Did you even see about? You didn't hear about that?
No, I didn't.
Well, they put up this billboard. I'm not sure what city. I'm not sure where it was, but
Uh-huh.
they were saying thank you to like cops for doing their job,
Uh-huh.
and then right next to that message, to the left of it, it had a picture of his face. Because he was like in the
Oh,
Marines or something, right, or something like that. And yeah, so he was.
oh
It was
yeah.
that same picture. The same picture you see. You see it?
I just Googled it right now.
Yeah,
I'm taking a look at it. This one doesn't show it, but I'll find
but
it.
yeah, yeah. But that's and people were like, "What the fuck? Like, who the fuck posted that?"
Yeah, it says I don't know if this will still be up there, but I Googled it and it says "Thank you, police." It's a picture of Dorner, and
Yeah,
it
that's what I'm saying.
says
Yeah.
coronagray.net. So I don't know. I don't know if you want to get into that, but I wouldn't
Yeah,
Google it.
that's yeah, that's a very weird. I don't know who paid for that, but that's a very interesting billboard to put up. And thanks, cops, for everything you do. And here's a picture of a cop killer. That's crazy. That's crazy. You have a lot of fucking balls to put that up. But
Oh
like
man.
it,
Well,
yeah, I saw.
it's from NBC Los Angeles, so somewhere around there.
Yeah, might have been. But yeah, that was crazy. Tell him, man, there's so many random shit that's happening right now that I just can't even like
Well,
wrap my head around.
that's why we're here to talk about it because actually it's super fucking crazy in random times. And
I
then
like now that we're asking we're asking each other these questions, we're answering that. I like to know what the people that were watching these videos. I want to know what they think. What are your guys' thoughts? Drop them down in the comments. Let us know what you guys think.
I agree. Please let
Uh,
us know because we
yeah,
will definitely reply and then speak more about it on the next episode. So
yeah, and just leave if you guys want any questions you want us to talk about on the next episode, uh, we're more than willing to answer those questions and use it as a subject, and we'll get into that
cool.
for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate you guys listening. I know we both do, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
And like and subscribe, please.
Please do. Thank you guys so much. See you later.
Peace.